Okay, now we're going to take our right side rail. It's marked right side on it. Place it down here just like we did on the left side. Grab your square. Put your square down. Get your rail set with the 1/2 inch gap between the back of the square and the Velcro on the rail. Same gap that you have up top. Get both sides adjusted so that you're the same distance on both of them. Take your drill with your bit. Grab another screw. Put it in your bit. Hold your rail down. Put your screw in. You're going to recheck it. Make sure you still got your nice 1/2 inch gap. Check the other side, move it to where it needs to be at. Take your next screw. Put the other side of your rail in. Alright, now you're ready to go on to the next step. Okay, now you're going to take one of your Velcro strips that we provided for you with the adhesive back. You got this rail that we talked about earlier underneath the edge of the fender. You're going to take and peel the Velcro off. You're going to stick it right to that rail. And you just basically want to cover the center of that rail between the two ends. Push your Velcro down, fold it under the edge of the rail real nice. And now you're going to want to do that on the other side also. Okay, now we're going to take our first panel and test it. In this case, you can see I have my battery cables behind here because I have a box in the back of my truck that holds my battery. So in this case, I have a couple holes drilled through the side panel so I can run my cables through there. Most of you will have the battery in the front of your car, so you won't have these holes in the side. If you do have a battery that's mounted in the back, you can also fit it right behind the side panel on either side. Just mount your battery right behind your rail, and this panel will slide right in there and cover your battery so you won't be able to see it. Easiest way to put these panels in, hold it down flat like this, twist it up into the spot. It's installed. Alright, now we're going to test the fit on our left side. Just take your panel just like on the right side, kind of hold it like that. Twist it up into place. You want to make sure you're in front of this rail, not caught underneath of it, because if you get caught underneath of it, it's not going to want to go in there. You're going to end up hurting the fabric on the top. So make sure in front of that rail. Twist it up in there a little bit. Give it a push. Installed. Okay, now we're going to take our back panel. You're going to put your back panel in on an angle like this so it fits into the trunk nice and easy. Then you're going to turn your panel so it's against the side rails. Tip the bottom down a little bit so you can work it to the back. And then you're just going to push it up into place, just like that. Alright, now you're going to adjust it. Reach in with 2 fingers on each hand. Get it adjusted top and bottom where you want it so it's nice and square and has a nice even look all the way across the front. And then we're going to go ahead and mark it so we can put our rails in. Okay. Now we're going to grab our friend Mr. Blue Tape. Doesn't necessarily have to be blue tape, but you're not going to want to use any kind of super sticky tape like duct tape. Don't use any duct tape because that's going to leave a residue on the carpet itself. So you're just going to want to take a piece about that long, stick it right up close to the panel so you got a nice even line at the bottom. Push it down on the carpet. Take another piece and put it over on the other side. Again, about that long. Okay, now you got your pieces of tape right along the front edge of your panel. That's actually going to mark where your bottom rail goes. So at this point, you're going to reach in again with just 2 fingers, 1, 2 on each hand. Pull your panel out. Now you're going to take your back rail that we provided for you. You're going to place it in the trunk, 1/2 inch behind the 2 pieces of blue tape. Once again, grab your hardware kit, your drill with your 3/8 bit, grab one of the self-tappers, hold your rail down, put your first screw in. Very important that you use the screws that we send you, because these will not go through and hit your gas tank. So don't be switching the screws to longer screws, otherwise you're going to end up running a hole right through your gas tank and making a mess. Okay, now we have our back rail installed. You can see that we got screws in nice and sturdy, so it's not going anywhere. Okay, once again, we're going to take our back panel, put it in the trunk, slide the bottom all the way back to the rail, push it back up in there, get the top where you want it. We're going to take our blue tape again, take a piece of the blue tape. This time we're going to go to the top, and we're going to stick the blue tape right in front of the panel on the top. Do that on both sides, and then pull the panel back out again. Okay, now we're going to take a marker. Where your piece of tape was in front of the top of the panel, you're going to measure back a 1/2 inch and then mark a line with your marker, and then you can pull this tape off of here. Take your piece, hold it up there on your line, and run your screw through it. A little easier for me than it's going to be for you guys because I've had this piece in here before. That's basically how your piece is going to look when it's done. Do the same on both sides. Okay, now we got the top and bottom rails installed. We're going to put our back panel back in. Okay, now we're going to take our lower bumper panel, put it in the trunk, pull it up towards you so it's nice and even with this latch. That piece is installed. Now we're going to put the latch piece in. Before we do, you're going to want to check this back rail right here in your car. Sometimes there'll be a little clip on here that holds the wires in on the back, keeps them from getting shut in your deck lid. You're just going to reach on the bottom side of that and pull down on it, and then lift forward. That'll pull that clip right out of there and get it out of your way, which will allow this panel to slide back in there. On the panels that you'll be getting, there'll be a piece of Velcro right here in the center, and on each end, about in this area on each end. That's going to hold this lined up with this panel. You're going to want to just stick the left side in like that first, slide it in towards you, just like that. You can stick your finger right in here, push that panel up. The Velcro will then grab onto it and hold it nice and flat and in line, just like that. Now your trunk kit's done. All you have to do is vacuum out your trunk, and then grab Mr. Budweiser again, sit back and enjoy your new trunk house trunk.